Okay, so some of the equations that we might solve might look like a classic quadratic equation that we've seen before. So let's take a look at this one right here. 2 sine squared x minus sine of x minus 1 equals 0. So this looks a lot like a quadratic, and it's different than the problem we just did because not only does it have sine squared, but it also has sine. So we're going to factor this as two binomials. Now, some people like to just rewrite this and think of that sine squared as something else altogether, like maybe the variable m. So 2m squared minus m minus 1. And for some people, factoring this seems a little bit easier. But it's really the same process. So we'll start our binomials with the two things that multiply to 2 sine squared x. So that's going to be 2 sine of x and sine of x. And then the only things that multiply to make negative 1 are going to be positive 1 and negative 1. And if we want these to add up to negative sine x, so in this case on the right here to negative m, we just need to figure out, when I multiply my outside terms, I get 2 of those, and when I do my inside terms, I get 1 of those, 1m. So to make these add up to negative m, I need this one to be a minus and this one to be a plus. So minus and plus. So it's going to be the same thing over here, minus and plus. All right, so once you've got those two factored, we're going to solve these. Let's work on the interval from 0 to 2 pi going forward. So we'll just work with the solutions that are on the unit circle without extra revolutions. Once you have these two factors, we're going to take each factor and set it equal to 0. So 2 sine of x plus 1 equals 0, and then sine of x minus 1 equals 0. So each of these factors is going to provide its own solutions, and we're going to list all of them. So let's start with the one on the left. Again, we're just trying to isolate this sine of x. So we'll just do our algebra that says we're going to subtract 1. So that'll give us 2 sine of x equals negative 1. And then we'll divide by 2. All right, so sine of x equals negative 1/2. So we're just taking the angles from the unit circle that have y values of negative 1/2. So when we look at our unit circle, our y values of negative 1/2 happen at 7 pi over 6 and 11 pi over 6. So for this factor, our solutions are 7 pi over 6 and 11 pi over 6. We still need to solve that second factor, and we're going to isolate sine of x again, except this time all we have to do is add 1. So I get sine of x equals 1. So where on the unit circle does the y value equal 1? Well, that happens only at the top of the unit circle, pi over 2. So we'll go ahead and list all of these solutions now. 7 pi over 6, 11 pi over 6, and pi over 2. Okay, so let's try another one. This one is going to have an extra layer because, as you'll see, we're going to do the secant squared of x minus the secant of x equals 2. So we're not dealing with sort of our primary trig functions of sine, cosine, tangent. We're going to work with secant, but remember, secant's the reciprocal of cosine, so we're going to end up dealing with cosine in the end. So let's remember that we're keeping this on the interval from 0 to 2 pi for our solutions. All right, so this looks a little bit like the last one, except it's not already set equal to 0. So the first thing we need to do is set it equal to 0. All right, so what I'm going to do is subtract this 2 from both sides. So secant squared of x minus secant of x minus 2 equals 0. So we're going to go ahead and start our factors, so get those binomials set up. And I'm going to say, all right, we're going to start with secant of x and secant of x. And the only things that multiply to 2 are going to be 2 and 1. And we just have to think about, all right, if I do the outside terms, that gives me secant of x. If I do the inside terms, that gives me 2 secant of x. Knowing that this has to multiply to a negative 2, one of my signs needs to be negative. In order to add up to negative secant x, I need this one to be negative and this one to be positive. So I put the minus in front of the 2 and the plus in front of the 1. All right, so now what we do is we just take each of these factors and set them equal to 0 and find the solutions from those. So secant of x minus 2 equals 0. We'll just start with that one for now. All right, so let's just keep solving. I'm going to add the 2 over, so we can say the secant of x equals 2. Now remember, that's not very helpful to us. Let's put it in terms that are helpful. Rewrite it as cosine of x equals, and then the reciprocal of 2 is 1/2. All right, so all the places on our unit circle where the x value is 1/2, and that's going to be at pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. So these two solutions came from our first factor. We're going to get solutions from our second factor here. So I'm going to take that one and set it equal to 0. Secant of x plus 1 equals 0. And then we'll go ahead and solve that one. So subtract the 1 over. So secant of x equals -1. That means that the cosine of x equals the reciprocal of -1. Well, if I just put that over or under 1, I get -1 still. All right, so we're going to say, where are the x values? -1, since we're talking about cosine. And that's going to be on our unit circle on the very far left. And that angle is pi. All right, so these are all my solutions. So I'm going to write them all out together. X equals pi over 3, 5 pi over 3, and pi. And again, we're just limiting to the solutions that are between 0 and 2 pi. All right, so let's take a look at one more example before we move on to anything a little bit more complicated than this even. And let's say you've got an equation that looks kind of like this. Sine cubed of x equals sine of x. Now, a common instinct that students have is they go, oh, look, there's sine on both sides. I can divide. So we don't want to divide by one of our variables. When we do that, we'll lose a solution. So follow the same first step we took over here and set it equal to 0. Set equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract a sine x from both sides. Here's the next chance for a mistake to happen. Sine cubed of x and sine of x are not like terms. We can't combine them. So we're just going to write them next to each other. Now for a moment, if you want to think about this, if I had something like m cubed minus m equals 0, and I told you to solve that, you should look for a greatest common factor, since both terms have a variable in it. And that would look like this, m times m squared minus 1. So if I go to factor this with the signs in it, I'm going to take out sine of x, and then inside I'm going to have two things left over. The first one's going to be sine squared of x, because that gets me my first term, and then -1, because that gets me my second term. If you're not sure if you factored it right, just think about distributing that back in, and would it match your original equation? Okay, so I think sometimes people get confused because they go, well, what do I do from here? Well, you have your two factors. We've got sine x is one factor, and sine squared x minus 1 is another factor. So we're just going to set each of those equal to 0 and then solve. So let's start with sine of x equals 0. There's no algebra to do here. We just have to figure out where on the unit circle are the y values equal to 0. And that happens at 0 and at pi. So that was easy. The next one, we're going to have to do a little bit more math to get that done. So I'm going to take sine squared of x minus 1 equals 0. And then we're going to go ahead and add that 1 over. So I get sine squared of x equals 1. And then to get rid of the squared, we'll square root it. Please don't forget that when you square root both sides of an equation, we have plus or minus for our answer. So we want to know where the y value is going to be positive or -1. So we're going to have two places on the unit circle where that happens. That's going to be the y is positive 1 at pi over 2 and -1 at 3 pi over 2. All right, so we have this, and these were our solutions from the second factor. These are our solutions from the first factor. And then let's list them all out. So 0, pi, pi over 2, 3 pi over 2.